My name's Will Stewart. I'm a fifth grade teacher and a co-founder of Edji. And today I'm going to be showing you how quick and easy it can be to use Edji for reading groups, whether it's vocabulary, phonemic awareness, comprehension, wherever your student's at. This is how you can use Edji to support them. Now, this is the second part of a two-part video series. So if you haven't seen the first video, or if this is the first video you've ever seen, you're going to want to go back to our YouTube channel and check out some of those other videos. So this is kind of an advanced course. Let's put it that way. All right, well, let's jump right into it. This group is a vocabulary group, and I have asked these students to work on the vocabulary in this text specifically. So let's take a look at what they are doing. I can see that some students have already started to follow the directions and are already finding words that they're unsure about and are giving definitions for those. One of the tools that I really like to use for vocabulary is a fire feed. So I'm going to open it up and just take a look at what they're doing. Cody writes a stick, like a Slim Jim, as a definition for slim. Cody writes, showing gentleness and concern or sympathy for tender. I'm looking at Cody's definitions and thinking that he may not actually understand the definition he gave for tender. It's an accurate definition, but it's way above his reading and literacy level, so I might want to check in with Cody and make sure that his definitions are something that he understands. Corbin writes, running like a horse for trotted. Great. I think he definitely knows that definition. Tender, easy to chew. I really like Corbin's definitions. They're easy for someone to understand. They're simple. They're straightforward. So Corbin has got this figured out, and I'm going to stop by and just let him know that I notice he's doing a really great job on this assignment. I'm going to close out of the fire feed. I'm going to take a look at the reading here. Several students have already looked at slim and tender. Only one student has gotten to trotted yet, and that's Corbin. And there's still a few words left for them to look up. But it looks like this vocabulary group is off to a great start. And I'm sure after I check in with Cody and explain that he needs to have a definition that he understands, everything will be looking perfect here. Okay, let's switch over to the comprehension group. Okay, so I am over on the comprehension tab now. This reading is where my students have been asked to look for comprehension. So I still have my other group working over here on this tab, but now I'm focused on my comprehension group. I want to see, what are they doing? Are they understanding what I've asked them to do? What kind of progress are they making? So I can already see that Reddy Fox used to like to frighten Johnny Chuck is a very popular sentence. They're thinking a lot about that. They're making connections to it. They're making predictions about it. And most importantly, they're incorporating it into their summaries. I can also see that almost the entire class has read the first 3 paragraphs. So this group is started, but there are already some students who are well ahead of the rest of the group. So if this were a group that I were asking to read together, I might want to stop and talk to Robert and find out why he is so far ahead of the rest of the class. But if this were an individual activity, this is great. This tells me that some of my students are about halfway done and some of my students are just getting started. Now I'm going to take a look at my student comments, and got some students who have as many as 7. I have a couple other students with 0 comments. So I might want to stop by and find out if they're confused or what's going on, and just let them know that I'm here to support them and to help them with comprehending this text. Once again, I'm also going to open up the fire feed, just take a look at the comments that are being shared. Reddy Fox is usually able to sneak up on Johnny, but this time nature gave him warnings and he was able to surprise Reddy. So Robert clearly is thinking about this text, trying to make sense of it in his own terms. I'm noticing that there are quite a few emoji being used, so this can be a great spot for getting a discussion going about, okay, why did you put a scream emoji when it says Reddy Fox used to like to frighten Johnny Chuck? I'm going to check back and see how some of my students are doing. I'm going to take a look at what Laura has commented on. So Laura had something to say about this line. And then she read through all of this without really engaging in the text at all, and then shared this morning and evening. Knowing Laura, I think she's capable of higher level thoughts than what she's sharing. So I'm going to stop by and just ask, what's going on? Are there things about the text that you're still wondering about? Are you taking notes somewhere else, which is fine, but just to make sure that she's really thinking about the text at the deep level that's required for making comprehension work. Okay. Well, this is a pretty good summary then of how we can use the two different tabs, or you could have more than two tabs, to have different groups working on different tasks in the same text. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you on the Discover feed.